Coming up on this edition of Southwest TV News. It's official. The Cypress Health region now has the keys to the Meadows, a new 225-bed long-term care facility in Swift Current. Tourism generates over $2 billion in revenue for the province on an annual basis. And Tourism Saskatchewan is busy working behind the scenes to attract more visitors to the province.
The world was on display at the Art Gallery of Swift Current for the opening reception of Monotype, the China Workshops.
Thanks for joining us here today. The Cypress Health region officially has the keys to the new long-term care facility in Swift Current, and the process will begin soon on transferring residents. It's official. The Cypress Health region now has the keys to the Meadows, a new 225-bed long-term care facility in Swift Current. And with the transfer of keys from Plenary Group, the health region will now wrap up the final details before transferring residents to their new home from the current 3 facilities in Swift Current.
We have lots of staff that are going to be going through orientation. We're going to start moving things in, getting things cleaned up. So it's very exciting. It's really a finished building. There's a little bit of landscaping that's happening, of course, outside right now, but that's due to the weather conditions, and spring is when we do that in this province.
A milestone in Swift Current's history, as the need for building a new long-term care facility has been a target for Swift Current MLA and Saskatchewan Premier Brad Wall for a number of years.
We have been at the top of the needs list, so to speak, of the government of Saskatchewan now for many, many years, arguably dating back to when I was in an opposition MLA and advocating the previous government to move on this issue. I remember, like so many other residents, Tammy and I would drop fans off at the Swift Current Care Centre when there was a heat wave and the air conditioning, well, there wasn't air conditioning, it just wasn't working, and so many other people in the community did that to provide support. It underscored the need. So this is a great day.
And as a P3 project, this $10.8 million facility in Swift Current shows how partnerships such as the one with the Cypress Health region can be on time and on budget.
We're going to save, by doing a P3 approach to this, we'll save the taxpayers about $16 million. The other advantage we have with the P3 project is that when there's local buy-in required, and there's a 20% local buy-in required from municipalities, it gives them a longer period of time to come up with a significant amount of money. And we've heard from municipalities that that's a welcomed thing as well.
Move-in day for long-term care residents starts on June the 5th from the Prairie Pioneer Lodge and Swift Current Care Centre, followed by a second move on August the 7th, and the final move of all residents from the Palliser Regional Care Centre on September the 18th. An overall process which the Cypress Health region hopes will be smooth for all residents, with hopes of offering a familiar atmosphere for many who have developed long-term friendships over the years.
What our social workers are doing right now is actually working with family and residents to try to determine, who are those people that want to stay together and, be in the same homes. And you're right, friendships develop, and that's such an important part of everybody's lives that if we're all able to accommodate that, that's exactly what we want to do to ensure that, it feels familiar and people are moving with their neighbors and we'll be together.
The Cypress Health region will be in partnership with Plenary Group for maintenance of the new facility for a 30-year term. A grand opening of the Meadows will take place in the fall.
It's just a different way of looking at curling. It makes it fun and exciting and engaging.
It's the talk, interaction between the people.
It's like a family reunion, actually. You when you all get together, you've all have something in common or whatever, so it's kind of like a family reunion to me. That's how I feel.
With a new marketing plan in place, Tourism Saskatchewan is hoping to attract more visitors to the province this summer. Tourism generates over $2 billion in revenue for the province on an annual basis. And Tourism Saskatchewan is busy working behind the scenes to attract more visitors to the province. Mary Taylor Ash is the CEO for Tourism Saskatchewan and was recently in Swift Current to discuss a range of marketing initiatives. This includes a new marketing campaign to capture the essence of Saskatchewan while connecting one-on-one with potential tourists.
The pillars really revolve around what does our land offer us? You know, it's the sky and the land is very distinct features, which people are very interested in. You know, in terms of, you know, the darkest dark skies, that kind of thing. And then overriding this, because it's like this vast land, because we have a huge province, brings people together. And then what overlays it, are a very powerful pillar of ours, is community. And the sense of welcome that you get when you come to Saskatchewan or you are in Saskatchewan. So it has this wonderful, we are so glad you came, this sense of friendliness, but even beyond friendliness, it's a sense of hospitality.
And as most visitors exploring Saskatchewan are from within province or from Alberta, Tourism Saskatchewan is reaching out to other markets to create excitement for others to make this province a destination of choice.
We work very much with the Outfitting Association on attracting people for hunt and fish. That's primarily a U.S. visitor, and those people know us for that product. We really do have a superior product in that area. And we've branched out a little bit with that, and we've gone to a few new markets in the U.S. We have a market in Germany and the UK that is largely, we deal with them mostly through what we call travel trade and tour operators, but we work with those tour operators to promote what we have here. And people love coming from those densely populated areas to Saskatchewan for the wide open spaces. Whether they're canoeing the mighty Churchill, going to visit areas like Waskesiu, or coming to areas, you know, the Southwest, where they go to our guest ranches.
Marketing concepts and networking events such as the 49 by 110 conference, which local businesses are embracing, including the Living Sky Casino in Swift Current, which has gained recognition as one of the top 5 casinos in North America.
It's all about tourism. It's about bringing people to the Southwest and everything else. And obviously we want to be a part of that. Ourselves, we want tourism. We bring people in off the highway and everything else. So as a part of sharing success, we want to give back by helping to events like this.
Over 65,000 individuals are employed through tourism each year in Saskatchewan, with over 12 million visitors to various destinations in the province. A new exhibition is on display at the Art Gallery of Swift Current, showcasing a number of local artists who made a special trip to China.
The world was on display at the Art Gallery of Swift Current for the opening reception of Monotype, the China Workshops. The exhibit showcases the works of Swift Current painter Stephanie Kaduk, Art Gallery of Swift Current curator Kim Houtailing, Admiral Master printmaker Gordon Novak, and the rest of the 28 artists that attended the International Creation Camp 2014 in Zhangjiajie, China.
Well, I love to do the monoprinting projects where I have a very intense collaboration with an artist in a reasonably short period of time. And then I have these 2 big series of collaborations with many artists. And this is the second one, the China Workshop 2.
I was invited to this workshop, which had artists from all over the world going to a specific location in China to react to the landscape, so to speak. We had to get ourselves to Hong Kong, and they would foot the bill for everything else, accommodation, food, trips, and we would donate the 3 paintings to them. And those paintings, they're building a new art gallery in Zhangjiajie, and those paintings will be in that collection.
In addition to creating a body of artwork over the course of the 14-day workshop, the artists were also able to gain inspiration from the surrounding landscape, made famous as the Floating Mountains in the popular 2009 film Avatar.
They were going to have us paint for a few days, and then a few people said, well, maybe we should see what we're looking at first. So they sent us right to the mountains, and then, you know, we'd come back and paint, and then have a few days of painting, and then go off to some other location. And my pieces are responses directly to the landscape there, and red is a very important color in China, and so I have silhouettes of the mountains in my paintings that reflect the mountains, the surroundings that we were in.
There are a number of days that we went out sightseeing and to other towns. So from 14 days, there were maybe 10 or 12 days that we were there. So we did all of this in 12 working days, which is almost impossible.
Gordon Novak, an internationally renowned printmaker based out of Admiral, Saskatchewan, was also a part of the workshop, creating monotype prints with the participants that would eventually become the exhibition for the Art Gallery of Swift Current. The monotype prints were created by painting on a sheet of glass before transferring the printing ink to rice paper.
The printmaking studio space was just a buzz with activity and packed with artwork, and I was kind of happy with this installation in that it kind of reflected the immediacy and the busyness of the studio that the artists were working in as well.
The piece of glass that we found on which all the monotypes were drawn was tempered glass, big piece, and it was cracked. So I made the monotypes by painting the cracks which were on the glass and then printing them. So that you can see all kinds of different things like in good abstract work, but really there are almost literally copied the cracks on the glass from which we were working.
So for something like that, how do you know when you're done?
You know, this is, how do you know when you fall in love? You just know.
Now that the prints are finished and the exhibition is underway, the workshop remains a great memory for the participants and will hopefully become the groundwork for a lasting legacy of art in the Southwest.
It was a spectacular appearance, and I'm really grateful to Gordon for linking me to that, and really grateful to China for the experience that they provided for me.
Having this portfolio of prints is really wonderful, and we've started to exhibit them here, and we hope that that they will be going to some other galleries, either parts of Canada or throughout the world. We've had some interest from a gallery in Italy and Croatia, and some inquiries in France. So we're hoping that it goes to some of the other countries that were involved in this workshop.
For Southwest TV News, I'm Craig Chaplin.
Well, this brings to a close another episode of Southwest TV News, reporting the stories that matter to you. We always welcome your news tips. You can always reach us here by phone at our studio or by email to contact us at southwesttvnews.com. Also, be sure to join us daily online for the latest news from across Southwest Saskatchewan and so much more at mylocaltv.ca. And be sure to follow us on a range of social media. Thanks for joining us here today. I'm Carol Andrews.